Let's talk more about this with James Grimes. He's director of Chapter 1. It's part of the charity Gambling with Lives. Thank you, James, for coming in.
Pleasure.
Tell us your story briefly, first of all, because you know all about this, literally.
Sure, I can relate to a lot of what, as Clive has said there. I had a 12-year gambling addiction, and in honesty, it was awful and horrible, and it changed the way that I was. It caused many more harms than just financial. It took many more things than just my money. It really impacted my mental health. And this campaign is called If Only I Knew. And I often think, what are the things that I wish I knew? And in a nutshell, and what bereaved families wish they knew too, is that gambling is designed to be addictive. The health harms are really serious, but it is not your fault. You are not alone, and there is plenty of free support available. That's what I wish I knew.
We heard there in the report, Ian, giving a right of reply to the gambling industry, talking about unregulated gambling companies. What's the regulator doing if half of the advertising is unregulated companies?
Well, we need action on that. The point I would make back is that for 20 or so years, the regulated gambling industry has bombarded the nation with so much gambling advertising, marketing and sponsorship across all platforms in all forms of society that it's created a generation of people who gamble and need to gamble. I think there's 700,000 people registered on GamStop, which is the National Self-Exclusion Register, and a lot of the black market sites are trying to get to those people. So clearly we need to act on that. But the people involved in this campaign, and me, and a lot of the people who died, sadly, the harm was caused on the regulated sites. And this campaign is focused on gambling harms generally and the impact it has on people.
What's the advice to anyone who's struggling then?
If you're watching this and you're worried about yourself or someone you know, please don't think it's all your own fault. Gambling is designed to be addictive. The ads don't show you the reality, and that's what this campaign is trying to do. I would say look at the NHS gambling services, look at GamBan, GamStop, GamFam, and look at Chapter 1, which is the organisation we represent. It is possible to live a life free of gambling harm. I can vouch for that. And during the World Cup, where there's so much advertising encouraging people to gamble, I can tell you firsthand that actually the World Cup is more enjoyable without a bet on if you're struggling.
But it is. How much of a concern are free bets in terms of hooking in youngsters, maybe students haven't got much money? It's a free 50-quid bet, give it a go, and then there's a danger you get hooked in, isn't there?
One of the people in the campaign in Liverpool is called Hannah. Hannah lost her brother Ryan, and Hannah always talks about how Ryan found it difficult to escape, and it was those sorts of marketing practices like free bets, free spins, offers and promotions that made it really difficult to escape. I can think of times in my own experiences where there were days where I wanted to stop and then I'd receive a free bet. And of course, all of this marketing is designed to get people to gamble and encourage people to gamble more.
I suppose the gambling companies who are not here to defend themselves would say, they have things in place to help people to exclude, to help people to stop, and no one's forcing them. It's a free country.
I think at a certain point, gambling addiction it goes beyond choice. This is a physiological change to the brain. I can tell you firsthand, it makes you do things you never thought that you would do. So it deserves to be treated in that sense. And this campaign is telling people the truth about gambling and the truth that we don't see on all the gambling ads.
And of course, you've got the public health Liverpool involved, so that gives it a slightly different angle this time, doesn't it?
We're really grateful for the support of Liverpool Council. I'm grateful for Clive. Clive is quite rare. There's a lot of celebrities and famous people who do promote gambling, so those of us with lived experience owe a lot to Clive for saying no to doing so.
Yeah, it's a great commentator too.